Love or hate Zenless Zone Zero, there is absolutely no denying this game is one of the most talked about, most hype, most popular gacha games around the world right now. And while its revenue might have dipped for the month of August, this right here, the release of Jane Doe, is evidence that the game is going to shoot right back up. Maybe not necessarily back up to like $100 million during its launch month, sure, but during the release of Jane Doe, on the first day of her release, Zenless Zone Zero reached the top #1 spot in the Japanese iOS sales, absolutely shattering player expectations, or even hater expectations. Join me every Friday and Saturday at noon EST over on Twitch at Stix and Mrs. Stix. For people that thought the game was dead, for people that thought the Jane Doe banner wasn't going to do very good, that Zenless wasn't going to be able to retain rankings, retain revenue, they were proven wrong right here, right now. Jane Doe has done phenomenally for the game, and I hate to compare games here, but when Genshin, when Wuwa, when Honkai Star Rail, when Nikke released some of their most anticipated characters and saw mass spikes in revenue, directly after that, they saw even larger dips. I expect to see Zenless probably break records here with numbers that probably they never saw or never expected to see. But then I also expect to see numbers dip lower than they expected, especially given players are going to be very preoccupied with Honkai Star Rail and Genshin. I genuinely wonder how long Zenless can maintain this ranking for. It was #1 the day of release. I don't know how fast it dropped. I know that it boosted up 67 positions, which means it was at position number 68 prior to the release of Jane Doe, being beaten by Uma Musume like every single day, Last War Survival, Dragon Ball Z, I think that's Dokkan Battle, I'm not entirely sure. It looks like Hoyo is going to have a very big month on their hands. Jane Doe's entirety plus second banner before the end of the month, Fei Xiao with Kafka, Swan, Robin, Mulani, rest of the banner plus Kinnick, which is going to do absolutely phenomenal. Like, all these games are good. Hoyo is going to have a crazy month. I don't think actually, you know what? What I want to see, and I think I might be a bit of a jerk for thinking this, but I want to see what happens if characters, anticipated characters or banners for each game don't do as well as Hoyo expected, or we expect, because there are so many different games holding so many fantastic characters that players have to decide which game they want to spend in. That is what I want to see. I want to see which game has the more active, higher spending player base. Because if 3 games have 3 different banners running and each game costs hundreds of dollars to obtain the character you want, a lot of players are going to have to decide which out of the 3 games they're willing to spend in. Hey you, where do you think you're going? Don't you close out of this tab. I didn't give you permission to do that. Sit your ass back down. Click one of the 2 videos that are going to be on screen in just a moment and keep watching my content. Keep enjoying my content.